Second point, evil thoughts lead to evil actions. See, here's something you've got to understand. Whatever you thought, or whatever you think, is going to turn into a thing called a feeling. And that feeling is going to turn into something called an action. That action is going to turn into a thing called a result. Now, just knowing that that is how the equation works, you can actually stop some of your actions by dealing with the feeling about the thought you've just had. Because what are feelings? Are they real? And some of you go, yeah, of course they're real. Bollocks, they're not real. They're not real. It's just what you're feeling. It doesn't make it real. It might be real for you at that moment in time, but it's not real. It's what you do next that becomes real. It's how you act. That's real. What you're feeling is just what you're feeling. Because are there some days when you feel absolutely happy? And sometimes, can you explain that happiness? No. Are there some times when you're feeling absolutely sad? And sometimes, can you explain that sadness? No. Have you ever been in those moods sometimes where you just go, I don't know why I'm feeling this way? Who's had it? Yeah. Not just me, right? It's all just me. Fantastic. I'm just talking myself in the corner. My point being that a lot of our feelings are not real, they're just feelings. And sometimes if we just actually get our head around that, we can actually make better actions. Because sometimes our actions are based purely on how we're feeling at the moment. I mean, where's my parents in the room? Come on. Sometimes your kid does stuff that makes you feel pretty cross. Yes or yes? And sometimes as a result of that, you do something real dumb to that kid. Is that right? But see, if you had caught that feeling and gone, hang on, let me deal with this when I'm being a little bit more rational, then maybe, just maybe, you would have parented better. Mm-hmm. I thought so. So evil thoughts lead to evil actions. Now, what's an evil thought? Anything that doesn't agree with God is an evil thought. Not just a bad thought, not just an off thought, it's evil. Anything that's not going with God's direction is evil. And you don't have to like that, but that is just true. And see, sometimes we go, oh, I'm not a bad person. Well, any thought that you have that goes against God is evil. Just know that's true. See, here's the other truth. All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Not some of us, all of us. We're all sinners. We're all evil to the core. The point is that when we actually follow God's plan, we can avoid some of that evilness. Is that good? Yeah. And if we just acknowledge that that's actually the fact, that we're actually not good, not one of us, then maybe we'd judge people just a little less. Yes? Yes. I thought so. Fantastic. Alright, so Genesis. The Lord saw human beings on the earth were very wicked. What were they? Very wicked. And that everything they thought about was evil. He was sorry he had made human beings on the earth, and his heart was filled with pain. This is chapter 6 of the world. And God is already sorry that he made the man. Chapter 6. Now, do you think that he knew that that was going to happen? Of course he did. But he was still sorry. Now, being God, could he have just said, you know what, I'm going to hit the reset button here, I can start again. Who's done that with their computer when it's not playing up? God could have done that. He could have said, you know what, it's so corrupt. Boing. But he didn't. Why didn't he? Because what? He took responsibility, absolutely. He made it. He's got to sort it out. He took responsibility. Now, Proverbs. Doing what is right and fair is more important to the Lord than sacrifices. Proud looks, proud thoughts, and evil actions are sin. The plans of hard-working people earn a profit, but those who act too quickly become poor. Those who act too quickly. Isaiah. The wicked should stop doing wrong. They should stop their evil thoughts. They should return to the Lord so He may have mercy on them. They should come to our God because He will freely forgive them. See, that's the good thing about God. When we stuff up, guess who's there for us? How often? As often as we stuff up, He's there. Is this a good thing? Absolutely. It is a good thing because He knew that we would always stuff up. Why do you think He sent Jesus Christ to die for us? Because He knew. We needed it. Every day. So how do we stop these evil thoughts? Here's what we do. We read the Bible. And fill our minds and hearts with God's Word. Because it's what? It's good. That's why it's called the good news, right? It's not called the evil news, it's called the good news. It's called the good news, and if you read the good news, you fill your heart, you fill your mind with good news, and what do your thoughts start to be? Good thoughts. And you have good thoughts, and you'll have good feelings. I'm not going to tell you you're going to feel good all the time because you won't, right? This is just a fact. But if you have good feelings more often than the bad ones, then you'll act better more often. Therefore, your results will be good more. Would that be a good thing? Of course it would. Evil thoughts, those not of God, will lead to evil actions, which will keep us from reaching our God-given potential. So this is not your report card on school potential, this is the God-given potential. Because who had the report card like me at school all the time? Gavin's got so much potential. If only he would show it. I mean, seriously. Are you being judged there or what? You are. But see, God has a blueprint for your life which has potential written all over it. But the only way to live into it is to be thinking good thoughts. Now, why do I say good? All I'm referring to is God thoughts, right? Because there's God thoughts and evil thoughts. Black and white, good and bad, right and wrong, God and evil. Mark 7:20. And Jesus said, "These things come out of people are the things that make them unclean. All these evil things begin inside people in the mind." Evil thoughts, sexual sin, stealing, murder, adultery, greed, evil actions, lying, doing sinful things, jealousy, speaking evil of others, pride, foolish living. Oh, there's a list for you. And that was just in 24 hours. James 2. What are you doing? You are making some people more important than others with evil thoughts and are deciding that one person is better. I have 2 words for you. Stop it. Jude 1:19. These are the people who divide you, people whose thoughts are only of this world, who do not have the Spirit. So evil thoughts are the ones of this world. Good thoughts are the thoughts of what? Of God. Last one for evil thoughts. Surely you know that all food that enters the mouth goes into the stomach and then goes out of the body. But what people say with their mouths comes from the way they think. If anything comes out of your mouth is just a true reflection of how you're thinking. So if you want to know what you're thinking, just listen to what you're saying. Pretty simple. These are the things that make people unclean. Out of the mind come evil thoughts. Murder, adultery, sexual sin, stealing, lying, speaking evil of others. So isn't it interesting that that's in a number of places in the Bible? Why would it be there? It's because it's true, but it's also a little bit of a warning that what you're thinking is going to turn into something. Good or bad. So number 3. Not thinking things through properly will produce what? Trouble. With a capital T. Who's ever been in trouble? Let me try that again. Everybody just put your hand up. We've all been in trouble. Sometimes lots of trouble. See, here's a news flash for you. You are always going to get into trouble. The question is not that you're going to get into trouble, but how quickly you're going to get out of it. Because it was a thought that got you there, so what thought can get you out? See, here's the thing. How many of you have had this super bright idea one day, didn't think it through, and then the next day regretted it? See, is anybody in the room actually in business for themselves? Just put your hand up. A few of you. See, being in business will actually turn up the heat on stupid thoughts. Because stupid thoughts in business always cost you lots of money. Right? Because you're thinking of a brilliant idea, so you go off and do it, and then next minute you've been fleeced of 10,000, 100,000, $500,000. I've made all those mistakes. It's fantastic. See, the good thing is that you make mistakes like that, especially ones that cost you $500,000, you don't do it again, right? You don't. You think, hey, I'm going to think that one through next time. There you know. Well, if you're going to make a mistake, make a big one, huh? All righty.